I wanted to try something new and record videos where I essentially just ramble on topics. I think the value in it for me is a form of journaling or capturing what I'm thinking about at a given point in time. Like it's a sort of time capsule that I can look back on, and maybe if things are getting better in the future, I could go, oh yeah, things aren't too bad. Um, Things may have changed, and my concerns might shift over time, but like, who knows? Because anything can happen. A topic that's been on my mind recently is failure, which is, depending on context, can be a bit of a heavy topic to discuss or think about. Like recently in my life, I've been experiencing a few degrees of failures, both personal and non-personal. Well, I suppose it's all personal if it's affecting me, or it's like failures that I've experienced. But I hope you understand what I mean by that. It involves situations where I didn't really act in my best interest, or maybe I catered to an external stakeholder that doesn't exist, and at the end of the day, I'm left with the consequences. Wikipedia says that failure is a, quote, social concept where you don't meet a desirable or intended objective. Of course, like, you don't need Wikipedia to tell you that failure is often the opposite of success or what you intended to happen. But in my past few experiences with failure, I wasn't even sure what success would look like, but I was kind of definite on what failure was. For instance, I'm currently employed for better or worse. Right now, I sit at the associate level within my company, and I support people above me to make decisions. But my heart isn't necessarily in the task at hand, or I find it kind of hard to see like what the impact I'm making is, and I feel like that's sort of impacting my work or will to work. But I feel like with my experiences at my workplace, it's kind of revealed its true colours to me, like my peers, my colleagues, or rather what the workplace can be like. I'm not necessarily saying that the people I interface with are evil, but in terms of a sniff test or a vibe check, I don't know what the popular term is now, I'm not really feeling it, and I doubt that I'd work at where I am in the future. So like the current role, it doesn't really satisfy me or really provide me with a sense of purpose. I get reassured by colleagues that every voice matters, but I'm giving opinion and advice to someone above me who 9 times out of the 10 feels like the response is just, that's interesting, but I'm not going to do that. I kind of understand the privileged position to be employed, especially in today's climate, but at the end of the week, I don't really feel a sense of long-term planning or like what course of action I want to take for myself. And I guess struggling at my current role is sort of helping me to think about that a bit more. The past few years of essentially coasting at a cushy job, quote unquote, is probably not a viable long-term solution. I don't necessarily think I'm compatible with the people at my workplace, and I think that's good in a way, in the sense of like, it's, I suppose it's like an obvious scenario. Like if you don't like where you are, you should probably move on. It's not the worst decision in the world, although I guess it is a bit terrifying with the difficulties a lot of people are experiencing with trying to find employment. I guess one question I've been thinking about as well is, what do you do when you fail? I think the reasonable, rational answer is that you note down what went wrong, either mentally or preferably you do it with pen and paper, and you keep it in mind for next time. You work on it the next go around. And I guess it's kind of funny that like I feel like I learned that idea subconsciously from gaming, but I never really thought about it until I came face to face with the topic in my real life. Over the past year, I've gotten into sim racing and then subsequently sim rallying. and I've spent a lot of time on Dirt Rally 2.0, and I've been attempting to get the Pedal to the Metal achievement since last autumn in 2025, where you have to beat a given stage in a given car under 7 minutes. And I've had an amount of failures doing that.
Into shots, 3 left, don't cut, 50 for left tightens, 60, 6 left of a crest, very long, caution, tightens into 2 right. 1 left long, don't cut, opens 3, very long, tightens at end.
Right now, as of the start of, or the first quarter of July 2026, I don't have the achievement, and I've taken a few months break from my attempts. I don't have it captured or screenshotted, but I've been slowly getting closer to the goal. I've failed a lot of times at getting this achievement, but it feels weird because it's a game, so I just try again. And generally, each time I try again, I get closer. And I believe at the moment I'm about 9 seconds away from success. I believe that's the last video I uploaded of the penguin being slapped in the first 5 seconds, and then my muted attempt. I guess this is a long-winded way of saying that failure can be good, but for some reason it just feels hard to apply to real-life situations because there's actual stakes. Like, there's no quick loading, there's no resetting the stage. Failure feels a lot more daunting in real life because, like, whatever the failure was and what the outcome was, you have to progress with those consequences. Whether that's, say, like, you've wronged a person or a group and they've made their final view on you, or it might be a career route that you thought was, like, sensible and it was a viable long-term strategy, but after a few years exposure, it's not really sustainable for you as a person because you might not get the logic at the workplace, or it just doesn't really fit with you. It is hard to learn from failure and apply it in real life, but it is doable. It has to be. And I feel like in situations like these, it feels like you either have the choice of hoping for a better go around next time, or just to fall into despair. And if that's the choice, despair doesn't really feel like a viable option if you want to carry on. Which, this sounds fake deep, but I feel like to some extent, if you wake up in the morning and you get ready for the day, like, you want to carry on. Like, there has to be a reason for you to get up. I do have the odd moment every now and again of feeling like an idiot or an absolute moron for the past experience, but I am who I am, and I think that's okay. I think so, at least. Well, it has to be because I'm still carrying on. And yeah, I hope you carry on as well.